Hi everyone, and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my mid-September reset. I know we're headed right into October in just a few days, so I just had the last couple days to upload this video. There are a few things that I wanted to touch on. September was not a good month for fitness for me, and I wanted to give this update and also talk about what I plan to do differently. So why a reset? At the end of August, I got sick. I tested positive for COVID, and I thought the symptoms were all gone after just a couple days, maybe a week tops, but I ended up having this brain fog and fatigue that lingered for weeks. And the brain fog was something that I hadn't felt in a really long time. It was so incredibly difficult with the fatigue to move through any workouts. I want to say for the entire month of September, I had maybe 3 workouts total. So all of that really put me in this rut of feeling guilty and like I've fallen behind. I felt like I lost a lot of strength. I lost my focus. I needed to do things differently as soon as I started feeling better. And I'm so happy to say that this is the week that I started to feel better. So the week of the 26th. This video will go up this week. What am I doing differently? Well, I can't say that I'm committing to this permanently, but after talking to my husband about how I was feeling and how I was falling behind with my training, and really the scariest thing is losing motivation, because even though you can train a habit and force yourself to do it, it's really tough when so much time has gone by and you have that extra mental hurdle to overcome of the whole needing to start over again. That's kind of where I was this month. August was tough emotionally after the passing of our loved one, and I got through that and managed to stick so much closer to my routine then than I did after COVID. So what am I doing differently? Well, I decided to join my husband on his workout routine. We wake up at around 4:15 and make sure to be at the gym by 5. I'm doing that for this entire week just to join him in his workout. That way I can make sure that I am up and out of the house, that it is the absolute first thing that I do so that it does not get put aside or skipped in any way. It already feels so much better to have that momentum going. So that is what I'm doing differently for this week as part of my reset. I'm also doing more extensive meal prepping, which I'll talk more about in a separate video. I also want to include in here a physique update, so I'm going to insert a clip here. So I decided to film this video downstairs in my gym area because we recently got these awesome gym mirrors. I have really great lighting down here to expose all of my flaws and things that I really would like to improve and work on. In the lighting that I have where I normally do my measurements, it kind of doesn't show a lot of the things that I consider to be kind of problem areas, like a lot of the cellulite that I have around my legs. I actually am not sure if this mirror is picking it up quite like I am seeing it. What I'd like to do is improve my muscle tone and really grow my quads and hamstrings, so the muscles in my legs, so that I can reduce the visibility of the cellulite. When I do gain excess weight, like 30 pounds or plus, I do store it in my back and in my midsection. So I would like to tone this area. I also would like to tone up my arms. A lot of this stuff you can't see in my workout videos. Fat loss around here to put on some muscle eventually in my legs, and to strengthen my back muscles to have a more defined back, to tone these areas here. In any event, not something to brag about, but just something that I wanted to show. It is entirely possible to reduce the appearance of cellulite, to shed fat, not from very specific areas, but the idea is to shed fat all around your body, and then you can strengthen the muscles that you want to be more visible. So if you want a stronger core and say abs, then you have to work your abs. If you want more toned legs, then you have to work your legs, and you do that by adding weight. Just wanted to show this as kind of like a before. Even though I've had some weight loss already, this is still nowhere near the finished look, and not terrible, but you know, it needs improvement. And these are all things that I'd say a lot of us women can be insecure about, but really this is a result of my decisions for 2 years, and this is what I look like now. But it is entirely possible to get very close to the body that you would like to have, as long as you're doing it for the right reasons and with realistic expectations. So more than the aesthetic of how I looked before, I'll put a quick pic in here. I really loved how strong I was, and that's what I missed the most. That is the goal. I thought I would make this kind of video. My measurements haven't changed too much, and I'm actually considering doing monthly measurements. And I look forward to making one of these in a few months with a very different physique. So that clip was what I did in place of measurements for this month. And I am weighing right now exactly what I did at my lowest weight on week 11, which was 144.4 pounds. The lowest it's gone from there was 144 flat, but I took my weight every couple of days last week, and that's what it was as of today. It doesn't feel like that much progress because there hasn't been any weight loss, but I did want to take some time to talk more about my calories and my calorie intake over the last couple of weeks. I haven't talked too much about this, but if you're new to tracking calories, you can Google calorie tracker for weight loss, and you will come across a number of websites that will allow you to put in your stats. You will get several numbers that show you how many calories you would need to have in a day in order to lose weight on a slow, medium, and fast track. In addition to that, you're going to have two numbers. The first one, the TDEE, calculates the number of calories that you're burning with the level of activity that you put in. So going back to June, when I first started my weight loss journey, that was sedentary. I'm not going to go into those numbers because I wasn't tracking at that time, so I'm going to fast forward to what my numbers are today and what my numbers were just a couple of weeks ago, because it's drastically different. A couple of weeks ago when I was still working out, I'll link the video here. This was my video for August. I recorded and added all my workouts for the weeks of August. During that month, I was working out about 4 times a week. And my TDEE then would have been 2,018 calories, which means that to maintain my weight, the 144 pounds, working out 4 times a week, I would have to consume 2,018 calories. In order to lose weight slowly, it would be 1,768. And in order to lose weight moderately, at a moderate pace, it would be 1,518, so 1,518 calories. I'm not going to go into the fast calorie loss. My BMR, the basal metabolic rate, means that those are the calories that you burn at rest. That was just a few weeks ago in August. Those were my numbers. So at that time, I was losing weight pretty consistently, but I attributed a lot of that to my loss of appetite due to the emotional things that I was processing, and I didn't really know how it would go from there. In fact, on week 12, I gained 1 pound, and I was totally fine with that because my appetite was back and I was just eating as normal. Now, with all of that said, today, the calories are drastically different. So with no exercise, the TDEE was 1547. So that basically means that I was eating within that range in order to maintain my weight. I did not track any of my food for the month of September. I feel so behind. I didn't track my food and I didn't exercise, but because I had gotten into the rhythm of tracking, I was eating mostly the same things every day, and I continue to eat mostly those same things every day. I do want to say that I had a birthday for the month of September, and I did eat cake and I did go out to dinners. It wasn't all perfect, but I did for the most part hit my numbers, and I did that without having to track. I wanted to bring that up because I know that unless you're preparing for a competition or you're a pro athlete, it is pretty daunting to have to track every single morsel of food and to have to weigh it on top of that if you're using a scale. It makes it hard to eat out. It makes it almost a chore to have to have meals because there are all these added steps. However, with enough practice, I do want to say that it does get easier, and if you're used to eating the same foods at least for a couple of weeks and then rotating foods, you're going to get really familiar with what those portions look like, to the point where you might even be able to guess the weight and the calories of your foods and stay within your calorie range without having all the added work of tracking. I wouldn't jump right into that after just a week or two of doing it. I do think it takes a lot more practice. I also had practice with this years ago when I was training and I was more fit. So there is a bit of muscle memory there, but I just wanted to add that in here as a piece of encouragement. If you're tired of tracking your food and you're tired of pulling out your app every time you're eating something, it does get easier as long as you are having the same foods and having practice with the portion sizes and what everything looks like on your plate. You did see my clip though, my physique update. I do think I look slimmer than I did at the 152 pounds that I started. There's just still so much more work that I want to do. I mainly want to shed fat initially, and then the real challenge will be adding in a lot more muscle in different areas of my body. So I had a few more things that I wanted to cover, but I'm realizing that this video is almost 20 minutes long and it is late. And I do have to get up at 4 again tomorrow morning. I am going to try to put together a gym vlog. I think that would be fun. I meant to do it today, but I completely chickened out. I started and then I had a wardrobe malfunction. So I had started my workout and I noticed that my leggings were tearing in 3 different places that I won't show. I was gonna do legs, but I think I'm just going to do upper body and tie my top around my waist just to hide all the holes. It's definitely time to get some new leggings. For a while, I was wearing the same 4 pairs of leggings, and just to keep track of my progress and take the same progress photos and clips, but those leggings have given out on me. They all have holes, the waistbands have stretched out, and they are just finished. I'm kind of at a weird size where I can squeeze into them, but then they just start bursting at the seams and I am left embarrassed. That is all for this video. Overall, I'm feeling a lot better. Like, I'm slowly getting back into the groove of things. I wanted to share that update, and I will be back with another video soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.